Top-level football is a game of peaks and troughs, of ups and downs, a roller coaster for players, coaches and fans alike. After setting up camp in the top three for most of the season, Wellington Phoenix have endured a horror month, losing 4 straight games all across the Tasman to slip outside the playoff spots. A return home can't come quickly enough for the Knicks, who'll be hoping for a change in fortunes in far more familiar surroundings. Today's visitors have also had their challenges, but boast the deadliest strike force in the competition and a couple of Kiwis keen to impress upon their return to their homeland. Welcome to Porirua Park, just north of Wellington City, for round 14 action in the Liberty A-League. It's a capital clash as Wellington Phoenix play host to Canberra United. Overcast, a bit breezy, but dry and pretty good football conditions, all things considered. Joining me in co-commentary this afternoon, National League stalwart with over 50 games with Capital Football, now head of female development at the Wellington Phoenix Academy, Katie Barrett. Great to see you, Katie. How much will the Wellington Phoenix players be looking forward to playing a home game after a month on the road?
Yeah, like you said, it has been a long couple of rounds on the road for the Phoenix, so they'll be looking forward to the crowd spurring them on against a side that might be bottom of the table but are dangerous and capable of scoring goals.
A good crowd has gathered here at Porirua Park today. It's a family-friendly time, so plenty of mums, dads and kids. Porirua is, for those not familiar with the geography, about half an hour's drive from Sky Stadium, the usual home ground for the Wellington Phoenix men and women, although the Phoenix women are taking half a dozen games out here to Porirua, and the locals have responded. Tucked into the suburbs here, it's a compact ground. It's in very, very good condition, and fans from both sides here. Good to see a couple of Canberra United fans here with us today. Katie, it's always a bit of a challenge when results aren't going your way. With 4 wins on the bounce, how hard would it have been for Paul Temple to keep spirits high in the Wellington Phoenix camp?
Yeah, it's always difficult, and it's really difficult in the A-League in particular because every side is a new challenge, and I think after their 3rd loss they were facing Melbourne City and things just get more and more difficult, and now's their chance to get a result today.
Here come the 2 sides out onto the playing surface. Wellington Phoenix left of screen in the dark strip today. Canberra United in their familiar lime green and white on the right of screen. Their first visit to this venue as well. There's the tail of the tape for Wellington Phoenix. Those 4 straight losses away at Melbourne City, Central Coast, Brisbane Roar and Sydney FC. The last time they tasted victory before Christmas, the 2-0 win against the Newcastle Jets. For Canberra United, they've been a bit up and down recently as well. A last gasp winner for Melbourne Victory a week ago, followed a 3-1 win over Adelaide United, and draws away at Newcastle and Sydney FC, and at home against Western United. Paul Temple has tinkered with his starting side more than any other coach this season. He makes 3 changes to his 11. They are all enforced. Mickey Foster and Mackenzie Barry are both nursing hamstring niggles and haven't been risked today. Emma Main is unwell. In comes Zoe McMeekin, Tiana Jaber, who makes her first start for Wellington, and the returning Macy Fraser. It's an all-import front line with Americans Isabel Cox and Hope Breslin, either side of US-born Venezuelan centre-forward Mariana Speckmeyer. Just the one change to the Canberra side that lost that heartbreaker 3-2 to Melbourne Victory last time out. Nicoletta Flannery has not travelled. She is nursing a groin strain, replaced in the starting 11 by Madeline Whittle. It is her first start of the season. Michelle Heyman and Vesna Milivojevic are a red-hot strike force for Canberra. 9 goals each so far this season. They lead the Golden Boot race jointly. Referee today, Australian Molly Godsell, assisted by Alice Clipsham and Heloise Welch. Our coin toss helpers, Ashlyn and Kira Kennedy, fans of the Wellington Phoenix and Tottenham Hotspur. Kira's a fan of Alyssa Wynnum and Beth England. Ashlyn's favourite players, Macy Fraser and Ria Percival. 21-year-old midfielder Macy Fraser returns to Wellington's starting lineup today, having been rested for last weekend's clash with Melbourne City. She scored an eye-catching free kick here against Western United back in November. Phoenix fans will be hoping for more of the same today. And it's a return home of sorts for one-cap football Ferns attacker Devon Jackson, who debuted for New Zealand against the United States in Auckland a year ago. She returned to competitive football with Eastern Suburbs after a 3-year absence in 2022. She's played a part in 11 of Canberra United's 12 matches in her first season in the Liberty A-League. Sun shining down on the two sets of players as they complete their preparations. Final words of encouragement and wisdom. Isabel Cox, her first opportunity to play on this patch of grass. There's Macy Fraser in the bright pink boots, hoping to light up Porirua Park today. Annalie Longo with the captain's armband. All set for a start. Off we go at Porirua Park. Two teams representing their country's respective capital cities. Just the fourth meeting between these two. 2 wins for Wellington, 1 for Canberra in the previous clashes. Wellington in the dark strip, attacking the goal to left of screen. That is south to north here at Porirua Park. The breeze is blowing from the north, so that is from the left side of your screen. Canberra United will have the wind at their backs in the first half. Heyman making strides early on into the penalty area, and an early chance for Riley Foster to get the ball in her gloves. Michelle Heyman looks like she means business as per usual, Katie.
Yeah, and with Jaba's first start there at centre-back, she's going to have a really important shift today, cancelling out one of the biggest threats in the league.
Here's Kate Taylor. Her parents are here from Christchurch today to watch her in action. It's been a long time on the road for these Wellington Phoenix players and the coaching staff, and they haven't just stayed away. They've come home, got on a plane, gone back to Australia, rinse and repeat, and without any success on the scoreboard at all. How much they must be looking forward to some home comforts. Annalie Longo plays it forward, looking for the run of McMeekin. McMeekin's in the area, and the shot across the face of Chloe Lincoln's goal. Well, I had to double check it was Zoe McMeekin up there, and good to see her making a run from fullback nice and early.
Yeah, she's a great attacking fullback, and we talk about coaches designing systems, but it's really the players that bring them to life, and Zoe McMeekin's really taken this small ball on and makes a lot of runs as a fullback, and it's really exciting to see in such a young player as well.
She slotted into that left back spot today. Michaela Foster not available for selection today. Plenty of energy in this game already. That one's aimed at Heyman, and they were appealing for offside. It was Milivojevic sending the ball into her strike partner, Michelle Heyman. They were appealing for offside. It didn't matter with Heyman not able to bring it down, but Milivojevic and Heyman, as mentioned, I mean, 9 goals and 3 assists each. Only tells part of the story. They are just such a potent front two, aren't they? Yeah,
an incredible duo, and almost looks similar to a goal Heyman scored a couple of rounds ago. Obviously, Canberra on the wrong side of the table, but those two in particular have caused danger for every team they've come against.
Riley Foster unable to combat the wind. It'll be a throw for Canberra. First chance for Tegan Bertolicio to get involved. The ball forward, and once again Canberra with an opportunity. Behind it goes though for a goal kick. A few members of the crowd taking the opportunity to catch some of the late afternoon sun on the bank here at Porirua Park. Canberra with the team that Wellington Phoenix achieved their very first Liberty A-League victory against. A 3-0 win in round 11 of their inaugural season. McMeekin involved in a defensive sense this time, can't control, so It'll be Grove with the throw for the visitors. Milivojevic. Precise passing initially from Canberra, but then the long ball from the feet of Holly Murray finding the sideline.
Back here, two. Molly, move it back with me.
So no Foster, no Barry, and no Main for Wellington Phoenix today. Katie, 3 players who have been fairly integral to their season. What adjustments will the team have to make without 3 of their more important players on top of those who aren't here through injury?
Yeah, it's a big loss for the Phoenix, but I think it's a great chance for some other players to step up and be leaders.
Hold that thought, because here's one now. Cox into the pass of Speckmaier. Mariana Speckmaier forced wide by Cannon Clough. Good defending from Clough, but Speckmaier, little nutmeg in the shot. Straight at Chloe Lincoln. And she took a couple of bites at it. And Mariana Speckmaier looks up for it nice and early as well.
Yeah, there's a lot I like to see in that. Speckmaier with a little bit of individual flair. Bertolicio not too used to playing on that side of the field as well. But she gets around Clough this time with the cheeky nutmeg, and great to have an attempt on goal that early on.
Now, Michelle Heyman, I thought had come from an offside position there, and she had. It's confirmed by the assistant referee on this near side. Michelle Heyman, what a player, bringing up 100 Liberty A-League goals recently. Such a potent force for this Canberra United side. Crowd, though, starting to find their voice in support of the home side. There's McMeekin again, moves into space. She got Breslin outside her and Longo in support. Canberra, though, snuff it out, and it'll be Grove bringing it away. Here's Whittle outside her first opportunity to start for Canberra this season. Michelle Heyman is just sitting on the shoulder of the last defender, very much a centre forward. Breslin north side of the ball there for a second, gets it back. Longo. Taylor. It's Hayley Davidson, another of the Americans in the side. Fraser now can't quite get her pink boot on that one. A couple of misplaced passes for Canberra, allowing Phoenix to get the ball back. Here's McMeekin in front of the Yellow Fever. Sasha Grove, she might have a bit of work to do this afternoon. Sasha Grove with a raiding Zoe McMeekin.
Yeah, and again, not too used to playing on that side. And you've got Whittle as well, who's making a first start. And look, Zoe McMeekin's a tricky play to mark. She pops up in interesting positions, so that's going to be a great battle down that side.
Yeah, it's not often a left back gets a free roll, but that's almost what she's got, Zoe McMeekin. Taylor can't find Isabel Cox with his latest pass. Kay Taylor said to the media during the week, look, we haven't become a bad side overnight just because we've lost a few games. Still very much in the playoff picture, Wellington. In fact, depending on the result later on tonight between the Newcastle Jets and the Mariners, a win for the Phoenix here could have them inside the top 6 at the end of the weekend. So all is not lost by any stretch, even if they have found points hard to come by in recent times. Here's Cox again, combining with Speckmaier offside. Little combinations between Cox and Speckmaier early. Good to see the attacking players in nice harmony early on.
Yeah, it's great to see, and I think that's the difference a game at home can make. Sometimes you've got a little bit more inspiration in the attacking third, and we're already seeing some really good chances.
Canberra United yet to win on the road this season. Fraser wins the ball back for Wellington. Here's Breslin. She tracks that one down, comes inside, a bit of a heavy touch, and that took it away from her, Hope Breslin. Plenty of energy in this Wellington Phoenix side early. Love to find an early goal to reward their endeavour. Kate Taylor thought briefly about a shot and then maybe a pass over to Cox. Instead, the short one. Speckmaier's dropped deep. Fraser, little ball into the park. She hoped of Speckmaier. Clough in the way. McMeekin and Longo combining in midfield. Here's Fraser. She's urged to shoot by a small pocket of fans. Ignores that. And Isabel Cox had come back for an offside position. A lot of play in the attacking third for Wellington in the first 8.5 minutes here, Katie.
Yeah, there is, but you can't write Canberra off. You know, they're still very dangerous and they've got good players on the counter, so the Phoenix will still need to be careful even if they do have a lot of the ball.
McMeekin is in again, winning possession back. Here's Breslin. Longo wanted it. Ball not forthcoming. Taylor plays the 1-2 with Speckmeyer. Tries to recalibrate, back to Lake, who's stepped into that central defensive position. The absence of Marisa van der Meer, who continues to recover from that ACL. Here's Jaber, stepping into an attacking position. Cox beats the first player, and the second Isabel Cox. She's in the area, can she square it back? She does it the second attempt, and it's there for Breslin, won't come down for her. And I think that's come off McMeekin last. Has it for a Canberra throw? No, other way around.
Yeah, and it's again that individual flair down the right side for the Phoenix. They've got around Canberra a couple of times now, so they'll want to tidy things up.
Milivojevic, meantime, breaks forward. Only Heyman ahead of her at the moment. There's Milivojevic. Lake stands tall and strong, but Milivojevic shows equal commitment, but can't wrap her foot around it. There's the Milivojevic, an excitement machine for Canberra. Rebecca Lake up to the task.
And there's that danger I was talking about. Milivojevic has a little bit of a free roll, and that can make her very dangerous at times, especially on the counter. And with Heyman in the box, you know there's someone there to finish opportunities. So Lake and Jaber, they'll need to stay switched on because Canberra are always a threat, regardless of how much they have the ball.
Speckmeyer had dropped in to get a head on Foster's goal kick. It's coming back the way of Canberra. McMeekin should be able to mop up okay here with help from Lake. Breslin just keeps it in. Fraser, clever. Taylor looking for options, and I think she was aiming for Cox on the far side there. Couldn't quite get the direction on the pass. Clough switching play over towards the far side. Here's Devon Jackson with her first opportunity. The Kiwi. Her family are in attendance today as well. Devon Jackson, they've come down from Auckland and ready to cheer her on in Canberra colours. There's Mary Stanich-Floody in central midfield for the visitors. Whittle trying to get on the end of it. It falls kindly for Milivojevic, and that'll go behind for a corner. Foster not able to haul it in off the knees of Kate Taylor, so a corner for Canberra. First chance for them to set up a set piece. Wellington have conceded just 2 goals from set pieces this season. That's the joint fewest in the competition, so they've worked out their defensive system at set piece time. Stanich-Floody to take. Set move towards the edge, but Longo was in the way. Fraser in heavy traffic. Just gets the ball away. Now has to use some trickery again, Macy Fraser. And eventually her tenacity might win it back. And it was off Annalie Longo last.
In front, Mace! Get in front, Mace!
Very tight area down there. That's a shove in the back on Breslin. Referee Molly Godsell agrees. Rather unceremoniously dumped to the ground. Hope Breslin.
Yeah, the Phoenix needed to get out of that situation, so Canberra could have done a little bit better there. Breslin makes the most of that situation, but it gives them a chance to get out of that channel that they were a little bit trapped in.
She's been ever present in the matchday squad, Hope Breslin. 14th game of the season. Couple of goals to her name. Here she is again and wins the ball back for her side. Hope Breslin pokes it forward, but no Phoenix player there, although there is a bit of confusion in the Canberra defence as they try and clear. Real open field to this game. Milivojevic brings teammate in on the far side, Grove, in towards Heyman. Here's Michelle Heyman. Rebecca Lake was there, and it's behind for another Canberra corner. Looks as though Bertolizio has come over to the right-hand side of the defence, and Grove has gone across to the left. I wonder if that's in response to what McMeekin's bringing on attack for the Phoenix.
Yeah, possibly, and Grove's got a little bit of pace herself, so they'll want to utilise her in the attacking moments just as much, and maybe McMeekin was just cancelling her out a little bit, but she's got forward and created an opportunity for Canberra there.
First 14 minutes have flown by here at Porirua Park. Another corner for Canberra, plenty of elevation on it, too much as it turns out. Over the top of everyone, including Clark. The only previous meeting between these two in New Zealand saw Wellington run out 5-0 winners at Sky Stadium last season. None of Wellington's goal scorers that day are still at the club. Betsy Hassett got a couple, Millie Clegg and Ava Pritchard also scoring. There was an own goal that day as well. So a real refresh of the squad under Paul Temple this season. Speckmeyer can't quite get there. Back from Clark to Lincoln. It's Bertolicio. Good precise passing in midfield for Canberra, and now they'll free Grove up on the far side. Sasha Grove plays it into Whittle. Jaber goes back to Riley Foster, who clears. Can't remember a game with such an open feel in the first 15 minutes of this one.
Not at all, Piney. I think both teams really want a result today, and this is probably both teams' best chance at doing it for a while.
Speckmeyer finds Longo. Space out on the left-hand side for Breslin. Only Speckmeyer in the area. That's who the ball is aimed for. Too many Canberra players back, and Sarah Clark completing the defence. McMeekin goes down. Nothing wrong with it, says the referee. Here's Heyman. And long ball, a chance for all of us to catch our breath, including the players, for a little while. Crowd's enjoying it. They've turned up in good numbers, plenty of energy.
Yeah, in your own half, yeah. Go further.
Lots of Phoenix colours in the crowd here. Not so many on the bank as those young men and women relax in the sunshine.
Holly. Yeah, right where you are. Come across.
Latest Canberra attack fizzles out somewhat down their right-hand side. Still putting pressure on Wellington, though, as they look to find an exit from here. Here's Clough. Lifts it forward. Heyman is there or thereabouts. So is Lake, and Lake will have to put it behind for another corner. That's 3 now for Canberra. So certainly as far as set pieces are concerned, they're starting to mount in terms of number. Stanich Floody again will be in charge on this near side. She was at Champions Sydney FC last season, mainly as a sub. He's come across for more game time and certainly got it, the 18-year-old. Delivery's good, but away by Breslin. Back in by Clough. You can hear them calling away, and eventually it goes behind for what will be a goal kick for Wellington.
Canberra doing a good job at piling on the pressure. It's not quite a good enough header from Breslin, which means Canberra can get it back in the box. And look, Milivojevic might want to do a little bit better there, but nonetheless, Canberra have found themselves right in this game, and it is end-to-end, like you were saying, Piney.
So possession is in favour of the Phoenix after the first 18 minutes or so. And they have the ball again. Speckmeyer, well, I'm not quite sure what the plan was from Mariana Speckmeyer there. Maybe to try and bring Cox in. She might perhaps choose a different option if she had her time again. Heyman. Jaber struggling to keep up, but does. Heyman might let that roll behind for another corner. 4 corners already in the first 18 minutes for Canberra. As mentioned, the Phoenix are pretty good at defending them and have done so effectively so far, but you wouldn't want to keep giving them away forever, would you?
No, and I think the worry for the Phoenix is that they're getting these set pieces very, very easily. 1 or 2 passes and they're at the other end of the field and the ball's falling to their most dangerous players. So they'll need to keep engaged as much as they can.
So Stanic Floody again. Vesna Milivojevic is over there as well, offering a short option. Instead it's lumped into the 6-yard area. Taylor gets the header away. Jaber completes it. And now the shot into a crowded penalty area from Clough. And again from Jackson. Just up and over. Devon Jackson, sensed in the country of her birth. A goal there for Canberra.
Oh, and Jackson would have loved to score that one in front of her parents. Again, a lack of good clearances from the Phoenix resulted in a couple of extra chances for Canberra, but that one just goes over the bar and she'll be wanting another one soon.
Yeah, Devon Jackson would like nothing more than to score against Wellington. Not too many New Zealanders playing in the Liberty A-League in places other than Wellington. She's one of them. Ruby Nathan, of course, in the squad today too. Here's Heyman dancing into the area. Jackson on the ball again. Grove helping it in. And eventually Foster grabs it. There was perhaps the hint of a shove in the back on Madeline Whittle there. Referee not interested. That one has somehow stayed in. It doesn't now though, as it comes off Bertolicio. Junior and young Matilda's international defender. Wholehearted. Pushing the back on Mariana Speckmeyer. Ref Molly Godsell was just waiting to see what would develop after it, but then whistled the free kick. So a chance perhaps for Wellington to set up an attacking set piece. Annalie Longo was keen to take it quickly for Fraser, but didn't fool the referee in terms of where she took it from. And Molly Godsell is now asking Nick Meakin to take it all the way back to where the foul was committed. Short pass to from McMeekin to Fraser. It wasn't the greatest of passes, unfortunately, from McMeekin, and it all came to nothing. Loose ball in midfield. Taylor storming through to try and gain possession, and does. Cox looking to continue to move. It's gone the way of Canberra, though, and now McMeekin's got front position here over Whittle. Can't go back to a goalkeeper. Just about got herself into a little bit of strife there, McMeekin, but wins the throw. Here's Stanic Floody. Milivojevic. Good defending from McMeekin. Whittle back to Clough. Now Clark. Grove is on the far side. Grove into the penalty area, away by Lake. And Cox wins a throw on the far side. Approaching the midway point of this first half. As I say, possession about 60-40 in Wellington's favour, but not too many chances to really speak of for Wellington. But Canberra have probably had the better of the opportunities. There's Jackson. I think Heyman knew she was offside there. Put her hands up. Jackson again. That's going to drift behind. So what's going on in the minds of the two coaches at the moment as we just go past the halfway point of the first half, Katie? Who will be the happier?
Oh, that's a tough one to answer, Piney. I think both teams have had chances that they could have scored, but none that they should have scored yet. And I think that's what both teams will be looking to improve on, real quality chances that they can put away. And then with a couple of personnel changes, I guess you're looking to see if they're doing anything different than previous weeks where you've watched.
Foul by Hayley Davidson there on Devon Jackson. As the ball got away from Davidson, she lunged to try and win it back, and gave up the free kick.
Not a whole lot of ball on that right side for Davidson, which sometimes can leave you in a little bit of a lack of focus, and it's a challenge that she doesn't want to put in, especially seeing how dangerous Canberra have been on set pieces.
And they have another one now, probably a little bit far out for a shot from Stanich Floody, although she might fancy it. Winded her back, so that'll perhaps encourage her. She does have a shot at goal, just a little bit off target from Mary Stanich Floody.
From range, it's going to be pretty hard to challenge Foster from there. She's been a great keeper in the league, and look, I think you can try find a teammate there as best as you can, but fair play to her for having a go at goal.
Cox wins a header to Fraser, but it's a bit of a cul-de-sac over there for Macy Fraser. Milivojevic chasing gamely after this one. Jaber, though, will go back to Foster. A couple of Canberra players getting in one another's way over there. Holly Murray and Sasha Grove. A lot of 50-50s out there. Ball not quite finding feet on several occasions, and players finding themselves in 50-50 situations. It's clever from Clough. Stanich Floody brings Grove in again. Forward towards Heyman. Here's Michelle Heyman. Here's Riley Foster. She did the sums on her head, Riley Foster. Worked out. She could gather that safely. Just a sniff of a chance there for Michelle Heyman.
Yeah, the crowd here in Wellington certainly held their breath. You don't want to see Heyman in front of goal one-on-one. You know she's lethal there, but Foster's worked off her line very well, and the Phoenix are still in this game, but they need to connect their passes a little bit more.
Taylor tries to connect with Breslin and does. McMeekin's off on a run. It's a little bit too far ahead of her. And Clough and McMeekin together, and that'll be a corner. First one of the contest for Wellington Phoenix. And as I mentioned before, they've been good at defending corners and also good at scoring from them. 8 of Wellington's 18 goals this season from set pieces, more than any other side. A penalty, a direct free kick, an indirect free kick, and 5 goals from corners. Can they add to that number here and find a goal that would take them ahead in the contest? Fraser to take, plenty of elevation on it, and the header in it has gone in. Rebecca Lake got the touch, but I think that's an own goal at the back post. Well, Rebecca Lake was there. Now let's just check what has been given here. I think the goal has been chalked off by the referee. Well, it found its way into the back of the net. Not quite sure what the free kick was for there. The upshot is that the goal will not stand. A free kick coming the way of Wellington here. Let's have a look, Katie, and see if we can unpack what went on here. Maybe a foul on the goalkeeper.
Yeah, there's a little bit of attention on Lincoln from Taylor there. It's a tough call. You've got to protect the keepers, and Phoenix will be gutted for that one not to stand. But I think the referee's made the right call there.
So Canberra fans can breathe a sigh of relief. It's still 0-0 as we approach the half-hour mark. Not at all from lack of endeavour from either side. Here's Jackson again getting involved. Milivojevic. Jackson tidies up. I'll recalibrate through Grove. Bertoliccio's going to chase gamely after this one, but that'll get away from her. Both coaches, Paul Temple and Nirgosh Popovic, up and about in their technical areas, issuing instructions. Paul Temple's been away on his pro licence course this week. He hasn't been with the team for the last 5 or 6 days as he works towards a precious pro licence. His assistant Callum Holmes has been in charge this week. McMeekin just about does enough to get away from Bertolicio. Fraser can't find Breslin. Gets the ball back though, Macy Fraser. Longo. Cox is a willing recipient, but I think Longo wanted her to come a bit closer for the pass, so instead they'll recycle out towards the left. Lake, clever pass for Breslin. Can she keep it in? She can't quite. Well, a good pass. I think some of the players have realised that the whistle's gone. It'll be a throw for Canberra.
It's a great ball from Lake on her left foot, and Breslin probably needs to get to that one a little bit quicker. I think she can keep that one in.
Half an hour gone in Porirua. Plenty for the crowd to enjoy here. Whittle with the flick on towards Heyman. Finds his way through. There were calls for handball and heeded by the referee as it bounced up onto the hand of the goal-scoring centurion Michelle Heyman. 103 Liberty A-League goals now. A brace in each of her last 2 matches. Speckmeyer sniffing about. Gets the ball, Mariana Speckmeyer. Fraser. Little drop of the shoulder from Fraser. She's hoping for the run of Speckmeyer, but chases after the pass herself and can't quite keep it in. That little distinctive drop of the shoulder we've come to expect from Macy Fraser.
Yeah, the Fraser shuffle, we like to call that one. I think every player knows it's coming. She's very, very good at moving players without necessarily moving the ball. And look, she hasn't quite been able to get a shot off yet, but she's definitely someone Canberra will need to look out for.
Yeah, knowing it's coming and being able to deal with it are 2 different things, aren't they? She's very adept at finding space on the edge of the penalty area. I've seen her score a goal in just that situation earlier in the season. Here's Heyman. Tenacity from McMeekin takes the ball away. Longo. Instant check to see what was on. Cox was the recipient. She'll take on Grove, Isabel Cox, and streaking away from her into Longo. Can't quite control Holly Murray there to tidy up for Canberra. Just so many battles to be intrigued by and to enjoy out there. Kate Taylor going in there on Heyman, making sure that Wellington underthrow. Cox and Grove are deeply involved in battle on the far side. Speckmeyer can't control. Heyman again dropping deep to collect possession for Canberra. Lincoln goes long, looking for Bertolicio. Easily dealt with by McMeekin. Wellington want to move it quickly. Outside of the foot from Fraser towards Breslin. But Clough, very good defending from Cannon Clough. Taylor, clever, move into space from Kate Taylor. Fraser, Longo. Good small ball passing from Wellington. Is there an end product? Breslin plants it in. Taylor is urged to shoot, elects not to. Fraser might. Little 1-2, Macy Fraser, now Longo. Well, I wonder whether Annalie Longo could have pulled the trigger herself. Instead, she tried to find Macy Fraser. Attack still going through McMeekin.
And it was a great passage of play there. I think they maybe opted for one pass too many, but the Phoenix can take a lot of confidence from that. All players involved in that little bit of play on the left side. And look, they're starting to look more dangerous, and like the team we saw in the first 5 minutes.
Here's Longo, Maisie run, hoping for the run to help her from Breslin. Didn't come, and it's off Breslin for what will be a Canberra throw. Annalie Longo, a real do-as-I-do captain, isn't she? She's vocal, yes, but she leads by example. The veteran football fern. McMeekin's popped up in central midfield now, brings Isabel Coxon. Faced by Grove. Fraser trying to play the return pass. Chance now perhaps for Canberra to mount a fast break. Milivojevic gets in front of Davidson, only Heyman ahead of her. Brings Grove into the attacking move. Well, step overs. Grove with the shot. Just defeats the far post. Not a lot of power on it from Sasha Grove. Just wonder whether that might have been perhaps a cross aiming for Heyman, not too sure.
Yeah, I think Heyman's great at popping herself up in the right areas, and Lake and Jaber have to be aware of her at all times. You know, if the ball falls to her in the box, she will finish. So I think Grove's having a little bit of a shot, a little bit of a cross, and hoping that Heyman can pop up where it counts.
You can see down the left-hand side has been where Canberra have attacked the most. It's the likes of Jackson and Grove on that side. We've seen less down the right from the likes of Bertolicio and Whittle. Longo under pressure. Speckmeyer goes down. Holly Murray with the little foul on Speckmeyer.
Yeah, and Speckmeyer again just getting the critical touch there. I don't think it's a purposeful foul by any means, but again, Phoenix just looking dangerous when they are able to break.
Fraser gets a toe to it. Breslin. She's in a bit of a hole, but it breaks to Fraser. Sizing up her options. Speckmeyer has dropped in to get it. Breslin's in a bit of space. McMeekin's in the centre forward position, but didn't continue her run, and flag up on the far side against Hope Breslin. So it's nearly but not quite for Wellington. As you say, Katie, they're stringing nice little passing movements together. Just the end product that's missing at the moment. Yeah,
and you do wonder if that's the change of personnel. It's great to see players having a lot of goes in the Phoenix, but it does mean you just struggle with those little connections in the final third. You don't necessarily know where people will pop up.
I think the crowd convinced Molly Gonsall of that one as Bertolicio and Breslin came together. Here's McMeekin again. She's all over the place. McMeekin tries to find Speckmeyer. Heading back towards their own goal are Wellington. Lake. Davidson finds her countrywoman Cox. Here's Longo. Just a bit of a misplaced pass there, and Jaber, I think, is going to be able to tidy up okay with help from Lake. Taylor. McMeekin. Fraser there. Hint of a hand, but no. Forward towards Speckmeyer. Clough should get there ahead of her. Back to Lincoln, who clears it up okay. Whittle. And a shove in the back by Breslin on Whittle that time.
Yeah, just there. Thank you.
Where is the game's opening goal going to come from? Wellington with the momentum at the moment. Cox sees Davidson go past her. Can she find her? Instead she cuts inside. Breslin asking for it out here on the left. Fraser picks it up. Brings Cox in. Will she haul that one in? I think she should be able to. Faced by Jackson over there. Cox breezes past Jackson, but a heavy touch, and it's dealt with by Grove. Once again, the front third quality just not quite there for Wellington. Here's Taylor. Breslin into the penalty area. Can't square it to Speckmeyer, and she's annoyed with herself. Hope Breslin.
Yeah, a few times now the ball's fallen to her in good positions, and she's just not, she's got the right idea, but she's not able to find the technical execution. She's wanting to set up her teammates for chances.
It's certainly not a lack of effort from Hope Breslin. The execution, not what she would hope for, but she's getting herself in the positions, as is Speckmeyer. Jaber, the centre back breaking forward, finds Speckmeyer. Cox. Isabel Cox up against Grove. Grove gets a foot in. It'll be a Wellington corner. Well, from the last Wellington corner, they got the ball on the net. It was chalked off for a foul on goalkeeper Chloe Lincoln. They'll be aware of that. Kate Taylor was the culprit last time. Plenty of black shirts in the 6-yard area. As Breslin lines it up. The delivery's good. It's crowded in there. Holly Murray will clear for Canberra. So the tactics are fairly clear at corner time. Just bomb the box. Lucky bounce there for Holly Murray, who brings it away for Canberra but can't find a teammate.
It's a good ball in from Breslin. A lot of attention around the keeper again. This time probably from her teammates a little bit more, but they're able to clear danger and stay alive again.
Payments after this one. Riley Foster is out and does it really well, Riley Foster. Lovely touch from Longo. Was hoping for the run from Cox, or perhaps Breslin, because Breslin and Cox have swapped sides for the last 5 minutes of this first half. Breslin over on the right now. Isabel Cox has come over towards this left side. Fraser picks up some scraps. There's Macy Fraser. Can't find a teammate, Macy, and Sarah Clark brings it away for Canberra. Murray. Whittle wants it on this right-hand side. Bit narrow, though, the pass from Holly Murray.
DJ, tuck in.
Here is Cox over here on the left-hand side. Combines with McMeekin. Cox looks up, Longo's there trying to stay on side. Cox keeps going, slides it in for Speckmeyer. Here's Mariana Speckmeyer! Wellington lead! And it is their Venezuelan international, Mariana Speckmeyer. A 5th goal of the season for her, and a go-ahead goal for Wellington.
And it's an inspired change from Temple. Cox going out to the left, combining with McMeekin. And it's great detail in the pass to Speckmeyer, who hasn't done too well in her one-on-ones recently in the season, but she puts that one away and makes no mistake there.
Really a short finish by Mariana Speckmeyer. As you say, Katie, it hasn't gone all her way this season, but a 5th goal now. She's top of the Wellington Golden Boot list. She's also now just one behind Grace Jarley as the club's all-time leading goal scorer. Grace Jarley with Perth now, of course, scored 6 in her season here. Speckmeyer now with 5 for Wellington, and in the shadows of half-time, they've taken the lead. It's been a very even first half in many of the metrics we follow. But the one that's most important is the one top left of your screen. Wellington 1-0 ahead. Milivojevic can't wrap her foot around that one. Well, it never felt as though this game was going to finish goalless. Speckmeyer with the opener. Wellington Phoenix have now scored first 8 times this season. Of the previous 7, though, they've only won 4 and lost 3, so scoring the first goal hasn't always been advantageous to them. Canberra have conceded first 9 times. They've won 1, drawn 3 and lost 4 of the previous 8. Can Wellington go bang bang? Breslin will hope so. Here's Hope Breslin. She lines up this shot. Little chip from Hope Breslin. Chloe Lincoln always well aware. Good strong challenge by Jaber, who's been good. Can't find the pass to a teammate. Davidson, a little bit of a shaky pass back to Riley Foster. Confirmation of just 1 extra minute minimum at the end of this first half. No stoppages really to speak of. So just the 1 minute added. Sure, Paul Temple will be delighted to go in with a 1-goal advantage. Nirgos Popovic with some thinking to do. It's not as though his team haven't had chances, though. He'll be encouraged by that. Jaber drills one out to Cox, the architect of Wellington's first goal. She goes past Bertolicio. Here's Isabel Cox running deep into the penalty area. Just ran out of room, Isabel Cox, and out of ideas to some extent. But it's cleared by Canberra for what will be a corner, I think, to finish the first half. Yes, indeed. So maybe one final chance for the home side.
Yeah, and it would be an absolute dream to put themselves 2-0 ahead before half-time. The crowd are enjoying it. It's a beautiful day in Porirua, so let's see what ball Fraser can put in the box this time.
Longo is there for the short option. Macy Fraser, I think, only has eyes for the 6-yard area, which is heavily populated. Elevation is good. Once again, the keeper can't clear. Still there for Lake just about, but Lincoln grabbed it at the second attempt, and that'll be all from a very, very interesting first half here at Porirua Park. Isabel Cox, instrumental. Mariana Speckmeyer with a very composed finish to put Wellington into the lead here. Canberra, though, have been willing participants here. Plenty more to come. Here's your halftime score, though. The Wellington Phoenix 1, Canberra United 0.
It's a mountain of football on Paramount Plus with the 4th round of the FA Cup. Every game live and exclusive this weekend. Sign up today for a 6-day free trial. New customers only. Terms and conditions still apply. Visit ParamountPlus.com for details. The FA Cup, 4th round only on Paramount Plus. people, we've picked on half-time here at buildup, and we've got some junior football happening on the pitch. Let's make some noise for our nation. Half-time heroes, welcome them to buildup. Tonight we've got the kids from North Wellington FC.
Half-time here at Porirua Park. Mariana Speckmeyer's goal late in that first period has the Phoenix into a 1-0 lead. Both sides huffing and puffing a little bit as the half wore on. There were chances and half chances and plenty of attacking endeavour as the crowd line up for their half-time refreshments. Others take part in some half-time activity out on the grass. Let's have a look at the goal that separates the sides. Beautiful build-up work here from Isabel Cox and Zoe McMeekin.
Yeah, great interchange between the winger and the fullback, but it's the intense run from Speckmeyer that Cox is able to find, and she finishes very, very well on her left foot there.
Yeah, great timing on the run, great timing on the pass, and just a little, maybe she had the goalkeeper the eyes there, sent Chloe Lincoln the other way, and a very composed finish, and even a dance as well. Mariana Speckmeyer, 5 goals for the season now. Let's look at the half-time stats. Shots at goal, very even. The 3 on target for Wellington, though. Riley Foster yet to actually have to make a save of any significance.
Yeah, definitely a point of difference in this game, and we know Canberra do score a lot of the goals that they do, a lot of the shots that they do get on target, so they'll be needing to change that in the second half if they're going to get one ahead of the Phoenix. Possession
as well stands out, almost 2/3 in favour of the home side. Corners have been evenly shared, although I think Canberra had 4 before Wellington even got their first one. They also had the ball in the back of the net from a corner, ruled out by the referee for a challenge by Kate Taylor on Chloe Lincoln. A couple of standout players in the first half. I feel like I've called Zoe McMeekin's name more than anybody else, Katie.
Yeah, and I think it's the positions that you're calling her name in the most that's the most surprising. She's been in and out of the starting lineup this season, but she's certainly stamping her authority for a starting spot in the future, being involved in a lot of play, both attacking and defensively, and creating a lot of chances for the team in black as well.
Yeah, she certainly is popping up all over the place, bringing her trademark energy, but also a real attacking threat this afternoon, Zoe McMeekin. For Canberra United, we always knew Michelle Heyman was going to be a threat, and it's proved to be the case again this afternoon.
Yeah, and you can see the quality in her, everything she's involved. She looks dangerous, and it's sometimes when you're with the ball that you've got to be the most switched on defensively, and that's certainly the case for the Phoenix today. Although Canberra haven't had that much possession, Heyman has looked dangerous almost every time the ball's entered the attacking half.
When a player has over 100 Liberty A-League goals, you know that they are an attacking threat. Certainly those Canberra fans will be optimistic about what might be following in the second half. Plenty of half-time activity on the grass here, but it's the second half activity we're looking forward to. We're back with the second half after this with the Phoenix 1-0 ahead of Canberra United.
Dixie's down here as well, Killers all the way. Oh, the Hobson United attack right, Dixie. Oh, what a right, stand back on the other one. There we go, we've got 3 shirts, thanks friends at Spark and Oppo. Next them all, but there will be more chances to win at some point. Congratulations if you won a shirt, and a big thank you to our friends at Spark and Oppo. Let's go make this half-time heroes around the applause. Well done to everyone. Thanks to the members who continue to support Gandhi like every level and give Toronto Stars a chance to play on the pitch in front of the best supporters in the league. Yeah, and when we eventually versatile by Suzu teammates, you can go your own way. Have you heard what the Zebra Sports the A-Leagues, the break thinkers, the game changers, and the goal kickers both on and off the field? Bring your fighting strengths to life. Put liberty, loads for break thinkers.
Half-time here at Potidoa Park. There's your half-time score if you're just joining us. Mariana Speckmeyer, some famous faces in the crowd. Ian and Lee Foster here. Hoping, I'm sure, to watch daughter Michaela in action, but unfortunately a hamstring niggle has kept her out for the day. Mackenzie Barry in the same boat. This is a live ladder. If the score stays the way it is, Wellington Phoenix will climb into the top 6. They were up in the top 3 for most of the early part of the season. The 4 successive losses have dropped them down, but as it stands, Wellington Phoenix would be back into the playoff spots. Canberra United would remain rooted to the bottom of the table. However, there's a bit to be encouraged about. Canberra have scored in 10 of their 12 games. They are, in fact, the Liberty A-League's second top goal scorers. 25 goals. Another famous face there, former Phoenix stalwart Ben Sigmund, son Cameron alongside. Good to see Siggy out and about enjoying the football. And Macy Fraser, a career in politics maybe. I think she'd probably rather play a bit of football than go into politics and into the head of the country.
Yeah, Macy's a great kid, but I think I'd rather see her on the football field doing what she does best.
Players making their way back out onto Porirua Park. Canberra United will have the wind in their faces in the second half. It's not a strong breeze though by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a breeze blowing from north to south. Got a change coming the way of the visitors as well. We're going to see Sophia Christopherson into the action, replacing Holly Murray. Just waiting for the sub to be officially made. Sophia Christopherson, the 19-year-old. Canberra United Academy graduate, plenty of pace. So Njegoš Popovic injecting Sophia Christopherson into the action in place of Holly Murray, who takes the seat. There is Christopherson joining her teammates. No changes for the Wellington Phoenix side. Paul Temple happy with the way things are going for the meantime. He's got a couple of options on the bench, a couple of potential debutants on the bench, a very young bench. Brianna Edwards, the reserve goalkeeper, turned 21 yesterday, and she's the oldest one on there.
Yeah, it's exciting times in the A-Leagues. All teams looking to include young Australian and young Kiwi talent, and it's what the crowd loves to see, and it's what young aspiring players love to see as well.
A couple of players you're familiar with as well there, and Ella McMillan, Daisy Brazendale out of the academy. Let's hope we see Liberty A-League debuts perhaps for them. Underway in the second half, Canberra kick-off, kicking from right to left. They're in the lime green and white. The Wellington Phoenix in the dark strip, attacking the goal to right of screen, as I say, with a slight northerly in behind their backs, but nothing which is going to really give them too much of an advantage in terms of its strength. So Hope Breslin has taken her position back up on the left-hand side. Speckmeyer releases Cox early. Good challenge from Sarah Clark. So the Phoenix's approach will be interesting. A one-goal lead is always tenuous, isn't it? And with Canberra having so many goal-scoring weapons on their roster, you wouldn't want to rest on your laurels. A second goal would certainly boost the confidence of the Yellow Fever fans in attendance here.
Yeah, absolutely, and it looks like a little bit of a personnel change for Canberra, so just let Cox take this one here.
Isabel Cox, can she get it out from under her feet? She has, and shoots up and over. Isabel Cox, she thought it took a touch off the goalkeeper. She was signalling that to the referee. But a formation change you've seen, Katie?
Not necessarily a formation change from Canberra, but definitely a personnel change. Jackson going into the centre of midfield now to replace where Murray was. And into the introduction of Christopherson out onto left wing. Jackson wasn't too involved as they would have liked in the first half, so possibly putting her inside to get on the ball a little bit more.
That's a real vote of confidence for Devon Jackson, as you say, looking for more involvement from the New Zealand international here.
Yeah, absolutely, and she's back in her home country in front of her parents and friends who have been able to make their way to Wellington, and with the Paris Olympics coming up, she'll definitely want to be putting herself in the conversation for Kumkova.
Milivojevic can't retain possession. The other 17, Speckmeyer, out to Breslin. Bertolicio over there keeps her at bay. There's a bit of conjecture over which way the throw-in's going to go. Eventually, it goes the way of Wellington. Canberra, three-time premiers, two-time champions. Only just missed the finals last year on goal difference. finishing 5th behind Melbourne Victory. Proud pedigree at this football club, but the latest attack just breaks down. McMeekin. Cox back to Davidson. Well, I've got absolutely no idea where Zoe McMeekin's playing. She's out on the right wing now. I kind of thought she was supposed to be a left back, but she is all action and on the ball again. Cox makes the run down the right-hand side. Dealt with at the back by the excellent Sarah Clark.
It doesn't look like McMeekin's wanting to go back to left back there, taking the throw on the right still. But that's the exciting talent that she is. She's involved absolutely everywhere, and you see it with Taylor Otto at Melbourne City as well. Defensive players are a lot more attacking in the modern game, and they keep things exciting for the fans, that's for sure.
Taylor slides one through to Longo. Speckmeyer's in the area. Here's Speckmeyer. Clough is across. Good defending from Cannon Clough. Needed to as well, as Speckmeyer was sniffing around for a brace. As mentioned a couple of times, Canberra always, you feel, have goals in them. 25 this season, split evenly between the first and second halves pretty much. 13 first half goals, 12 second half goals, so there won't be any panic in terms of trying to find a way back into the game. Big industrial challenge there by McMeekin. Fraser, Longo, Annalie Longo's in the area, lines up the shot straight at Lincoln. Well, she had a look towards the far post where Breslin was arriving, elected to shoot Annalie Longo.
Yeah, the run was a little delayed. It's a great positive first touch from Longo to drive into the box. But the goals do live at the far post, Piney, but the run wasn't quite there in time.
First opportunity for Christopherson to get involved down this left-hand side. Milivojevic, McMeekin stride for stride with her. Davidson there to help as well. Well, it feels as though Wellington might have gone to a back three here with McMeekin given that free roll. Now here's Cox. Keep her off her line. If Cox can claim it, she can't. And can't find Speckmeyer either. Yeah. Davidson, Jaber and Lake look like they're a back three now, with McMeekin just told to do whatever she wants to, basically.
Yeah, I think you're correct. It's a change from tempo we haven't seen much of this season. We're pretty used to the 4-3-3, but it is going to free McMeekin up, and we know that she's really dangerous on the attack. So, look, I'm excited by the change, and I'm sure the crowd will be as well.
She's still so young, isn't she? So down the track, you wonder about Zoe McMeekin with higher honours. I mean, she's just such an all-action prospect, and the versatility that she's showing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. She's got a lot of great areas to her game, and crazy to think that she's still off to an under-20 World Cup this year as well for New Zealand. She could play on the wing, she could play as a fullback. Either way, she's a great threat and a great credit to the country as well.
Breslin delivers this corner. It's crowded in there, and it's into the far post. And Wellington have a second, and I think Mariana Speckmeyer might have picked this one up as well. Half a dozen goals for the season now for Mariana Speckmeyer. Dangerous cross from Breslin. Nodded home by Speckmeyer from close range, and now Wellington with a 2-goal buffer.
And you have to think, after missing a couple of clear opportunities in previous rounds, Speckmeyer has found her form again. It's a great header. She puts it exactly where it needs to go, and she'll be thrilled about that one, and so are the crowd.
Yeah, football is such a confidence game, isn't it? And Mariana Speckmeyer looked a bit down on confidence at times over the last month or so, but goals will boost that. And 6 now for the season. She is now the joint top goal scorer in club history. It is just a short history, of course, only the 3 seasons, but she draws level with Grace Jale now on 6 goals, and she's perhaps hat-trick hunting now. Confidence high in the Phoenix now, and they'll have another corner. Well, Paul Temple must be absolutely delighted. It's been a tough month for Wellington Phoenix on the road. Home comforts though, Mariana Speckmeyer loving it here at Porirua Park.
Yeah, 100%. He'll be thrilled to be back at home and showing the home crowd what his team are capable of. And even more thrilled for Speckmaier. You always want to see a striker in form, and she's putting her hand up and doing that.
So Fraser with this corner. Again, there's elevation on it. Again, it's bouncing around. Speckmaier's there again. Has that crossed the line? Assistant referee says no. It'll be another corner.
I'd love to see this one again. Speckmaier gets up nice and brave. It's not the best angle, but it's definitely close. But credit to Grove, clears that one off the line. But it's another corner again for a dangerous team with set pieces.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, isn't it? But another near thing as Breslin delivers again. A bit too much on this one from Hope Breslin, and the hands go to the head. Canberra, meantime, are going to make another change, and it's going to be their Chilean super striker Maria Rojas, or Cota Rojas as she's known, the 36-year-old international, 43 caps and 11 goals for Chile. Back at Canberra after having been here in 2018. A very, very experienced player and a very efficient goal scorer as well. She's gone up top with Heyman. We'll keep an eye on what that does to the formation. They have to chase the game now, don't they, Canberra? Now it's a head clash here. They might want to stop this as both players have gone down. The referee is going to let play go on. Speckmaier's got it. Really on a Speckmaier. Now, they will stop it now. I think a couple of players, there's some deep concern here for a couple of these players. It's Bertolicio and I think Breslin. So Bertolicio is up into a sitting position, so that's good news. Hope Breslin, there's still a bit of concern about her, and I think she's taken a nasty knock to the head here, and maybe it's opened up a cut. Hope Breslin's been in the wars a bit this season. Let's have a look at this, Katie.
Yeah, and both players have eyes for the ball, but it's Breslin who catches the shoulder of Bertolicio. Both players, though, looking worse for wear, which you don't want to see. Breslin still not able to sit up. You really do hope both players are okay, but they're in the right hands now with the medical staff, but it's not what you like to see at all, Piney.
Yeah, well, it was double trouble for Breslin because she got the sort of the arm and the side of the head as she was in the air, and then fell really heavily. Bertolicio, as I say, is up, and I think she's possibly landed awkwardly on her right ankle. But you look at Breslin go up, she's in the air and she gets the nudge there, and then falls very heavily.
And it was the ankle of Bertolicio, which it appears Breslin fell onto, but it is that double knock of the head that you're always the most worried about. Again, physio and doctor doing their justice. You've got Manaia Elliott on the bench as well, but you just hope for the best for Breslin, who looks a little bit worse for wear at the moment.
I think Alyssa Wynnum might be into the action here perhaps as well. It's as though she's perhaps getting ready to make an entrance. No, in fact, it's sorry, it's Hayley Davidson, but I'm just having a look here at who's being instructed in the dugout. What can you see there, Katie?
Yeah, it is Manaia Elliott. They're just getting ready. Like for like substitution there if Breslin comes off. She's played as a fullback for her country, captain the under-17s, but more recently has been playing as a forward. So the wing-back role is going to suit her really well.
All right, so Manaia Elliott, yeah, Hope Breslin, there is still concern for her. She's just being well looked after by the club's medical staff, rolled onto her side. I just wonder whether perhaps she might have even been knocked out when she hit the ground. It was a very heavy fall, even in the air when she was struck on the side of the head. I wonder whether at that point she was a bit dizzy and then landed so heavily, Hope Breslin. So there is genuine concern, although it's great to see her back up into a sitting position. And Breslin back onto her feet. That's great to see. She is fully committed, Hope Breslin, and gets a warm round of applause as she makes her way off in the very capable hands of the Phoenix medical staff. Sub is going to be made, and it is Mania Elliott, 11th Liberty A-League appearance for the 18-year-old. So we're going to restart with, looks like a free kick, but not quite sure why that would be. It should probably be a drop ball unless the referee has decided that that was a foul on Breslin, because that's where the free kick's being taken from. So maybe that's the adjudication. It will be a free kick for Wellington, which Macy Fraser will be in charge of. A bit too close to Lincoln. Bit of an errant goal kick there.
Yeah, Lincoln, quite fascinatingly, takes goal kicks on her right foot, punts from her left foot, which you don't see too often. Normally she's getting quite good range, so she'll be disappointed with that one there.
Here's Mania Elliott's first chance for involvement. Finds Cox. Finds a little gap, does Isabel Cox. Squares it back. Speckmeyer, twisting, turning, can't find room for the shot, does now. Blocked on the line. And another player has gone down in the penalty area, so play will stop again.
And Cox does well to get around the two. It looks like Christopherson may be receiving a little bit of an elbow from Cox. No bad intentions there, but she does need a little bit of a rest.
Meantime, Hope Breslin's made her way all the way back around and is getting a warm round of applause from the supporters in the main stand here. The thumbs up from Hope Breslin. Top work that, Normie, getting the thumbs up from Hope Breslin. And a warm round of applause there for Breslin.
And it was Clark, that copped the elbow from Cox, but she's up again and ready to play. Referee going for the drop ball this time.
So I'm not quite sure what the situation is. If I'm Murray on a Speckmeyer, I'm just hoping this bounces up on him having a shot at goal, but there seems to be a bit of confusion about how play will be restarted here. Well, Speckmeyer does get it. She's only got eyes for goal. Wellington recycle, though, through Taylor. Riley Foster has been practically unemployed in the second half. She'll get a touch now as we go past the hour mark. Not the greatest of clearances from Riley Foster. Canberra desperate now for something, a foothold back into this game as Foster comes right to the edge of their penalty area to grab hold of that one. Longo sees a run from Speckmeyer. She tries to get away from Clark and fouls her in the process of doing so.
I think Speckmeyer knew that one was a little bit of a clip on Clark. But this front two with Speckmeyer and Cox is looking really dangerous, constantly drawing attention. Speckmeyer will need to be a little bit cleaner there to get her hat-trick for the Phoenix today.
No Wellington Phoenix women's player has ever scored a hat-trick in the Liberty A-League. Got a couple of braces. But Speckmeyer, I'm sure, will be hoping that today is the day that she makes a bit of club history. Well, the all-purpose Zoe McMeekin has now gone across to the left side of presumably a four-person midfield. Mania Elliott out here on the right. Longo battling away and winning it. Just on Mariana Speckmeyer's second goal. That is the 7th headed goal for Wellington so far this season, more than any other team in the Liberty A-League. This one's helped into the penalty area. Heyman is there. Good ball for Rojas. Dangerous when Rojas is around. Back to Heyman. She can't find the room for the shot. And now Speckmeyer is off again. Clough is with her. She's a lone ranger at the moment, Mariana Speckmeyer. No help at all, but now Summers arriving. Fraser. Cox is there. Longo's there, but she leaves it for Fraser. Elliott. Clever from Elliott to get away from Jackson. Into Isabel Cox, and it all fizzles out for Wellington. Lincoln going long, left-footed. Heyman can't control. Longo has it. Lake and Taylor can't combine. Heyman's picked it up. Milivojevic. He's got Jackson outside. Elliott's going to have to try and stay with her. First time ball from Jackson. Not cleared. Milivojevic with the shot into the legs of Kate Taylor. Grove. Clark. It's a shove in the back from Speckmeyer. Keeps going. Longo. Now Clark's out of position if Wellington can break quickly. Cox. Another casual return pass from Isabel Cox to Annalie Longo.
Looks as though Canberra are sticking with the 4-4-2, but again, just a little bit of a shuffle now that Rojas has come on. Rojas playing in that false 9 role alongside Heyman. Milivojevic dropping into centre midfield with Jackson out on the left.
Here's Christopherson. Can she haul that one in? Can't quite. Has she won a corner? She has. So Wellington with some defending to do. Phoenix players a little unhappy with the call. So can Canberra find a way back? They usually score. 25 goals this season. A 26th would give them a foothold back. Milivojevic. What's the referee seen here? She's going to give a red card to Riley Foster. Foster can't believe it. A very, very surprising turn of events. It's Christopherson who's gone down. If this is a red card, then it's almost certainly also a penalty. What are we seeing here, Katie?
Yeah, definitely going to have a look on it. At it, Christopherson's on Riley. It's a little bit of an elbow off, but for me, that's never a red card. You've got to protect yourself as a goalkeeper there. You've got to own your space. It's in the stomach area. You're not going to injure a player. I think it's a really bold decision by the referee to give that a red card. And the fact that no players know what's going on is never a good sign. There it is again, trying to own a space.
Now Riley Foster doesn't really want to leave. She's shaking hands with everybody. This will compel a change, obviously, with Brianna Edwards the day after she turned 21 into the action. Wellington will have to make a sub to allow Edwards to come on because Riley Foster has been sent off, so they'll be down to 10. Riley Foster simply cannot believe it. She doesn't want to leave the grass. I think it's very soft, if I'm honest, Katie. A nudge, sure, some contact, yes, but red card worthy? It's hard to see it.
It's the type of movement you see from a person trying to own their space anywhere else on the park, and it's never a foul, let alone a red card.
Now, Callum Holmes and Paul Temple are still trying to work out who to bring off here. Brianna Edwards has to go on, obviously, because the first point of business for her is facing up to the penalty. But Wellington need to bring a player off. Who have they chosen? You'd have to think it'll be an attacking player. Still some discussion going on as to who's going to come off. Now the referee, Molly Gottschall's come over to say, well, look, you've got to take somebody off. Who's it going to be? Riley Foster still hasn't made it across the white line. She just can't believe it. A hug for Brianna Edwards. Well, it's not 1 and 12 because one's been sent off. That's incorrect. It is going to be Macy Fraser whose number is showing. She doesn't realise, but Macy Fraser is going to have to make her way off to be replaced by Brianna Edwards, who will go into goal and face a penalty. Riley Foster, meantime, is exiting stage left and heading towards the changing sheds. Brianna Edwards can finally make her way on. As mentioned, celebrated her 21st birthday yesterday. Only 2 appearances so far this season. This is a 3rd for Brianna Edwards. Kota Rojas is in charge of the penalty. This to give Canberra a foothold, and they'll have the best part of, you'd have to think, 25 minutes against 10 players.
And this is the ultimate test for Edwards and the ultimate test for Rojas as well. Hasn't been on the field for long, but she needs to give Canberra their lifeline here.
Yeah, bang on, Katie. Substitute against substitute. Rojas has at least had a bit of time to get warm. Brianna Edwards has only just arrived. Can she produce a storyline here in Porirua? She can! Well, I've seen it, but I'm not sure I believe it. The corner's been taken. Edwards punches away. Heyman with the shot. Away by Cox. Huge drama here in Porirua. Brianna Edwards with her first touch saves the penalty. Still there for Canberra. Canberra banging on the door again through Rojas. Couldn't do it from the penalty spot, can't do it there either. And finally we can all catch our breath.
And that's absolute magic. You saw her say to Temple she was going to dive to the right. She gets both hands on it. It's a great save. It's not the best penalty, but to step up in that moment, Brianna Edwards, you've earned your spot.
Shot up and over this time from Sarah Clark. Well, what a story. Brianna Edwards hasn't had the opportunities this season that she had last season, where she was pretty much an ever-present. The arrival of Riley Foster has forced her into a backup role, but at the time when her team needed her the most, she has come up big with a penalty save. I just wonder about the little whisper in the air from Kate Taylor as well, as Brianna Edwards was making her way on. Maybe just a hint about which way Kota Rojas might go with the penalty. Be that as it may, she still had to make the save. Wellington, though, let's not forget, are down to 10. There'll be plenty of time added at the end as well, because it took about 5 minutes for it all to be sorted out. It took about 5 minutes for Riley Foster to get off. Cox is chasing. Lincoln gets there first. We've also had the injury, of course, that is going to add some more time on. And Jaber, who I think's been very good today in central defence for Wellington, with another important clearance.
Yeah, it's never easy making your first start for a team, and certainly not at centre-back, but she's done really well to contain such key threats in the entire league.
Yeah, indeed. A starting debut against Heyman and Milivojevic doesn't get much tougher than that, but she's been up to it. Christopherson just keeps that in. McMeekin's over there and scrambles it away. There's Stanic Floody. There again for Milivojevic and Kate Taylor with a very, very good tackle. Stanic Floody to take. The referee just wants to calm everybody down and has a word to those gathered in and around the 6-yard area. Well, the Liberty A-League just continues to deliver storyline after storyline. Huge drama here in Porirua this afternoon. And more to come, you'd have to think. Corner taken. Brandon Edwards can't gather. Milivojevic can't finish. And foul given against Isabel Cox. Goal won't count even though it hit the back of the net. Riley Foster has made her way up to the non-playing reserves just alongside us in the commentary box. And one of the quickest showers I've ever seen. She looked up at us and said, was that a bit soft? Here's Heyman. Still danger for Wellington to deal with. Stanic Floody can't get it past Speckmeyer, who's back defending. On the edge with Clark. Stanic Floody. All hands on deck for Wellington. Rebecca Lake has also been solid in the heart of Wellington's defence. Bertolicio delivers. Edwards punches and is collected by Michelle Heyman, who may well have been offside, I think. Free kick coming the way of Wellington.
And it's brave keeping from Edwards. Comes out to punch. And yeah, Heyman just gets a little bit in the way. Not too much harm done, and the right call by the referee.
So into the final 15 minutes of regulation time we go. Cox and Speckmeyer still trying to create the odd opening in the attacking third, but with Wellington down to 10, it's very much a defensive assignment for most of the team. Heyman and Rojas together. Rojas just so tricky. Stanic Floody. She's going to line the shot up, Stanic Floody. Brianna Edwards is well aware of the angles involved.
And it looks like the Phoenix have just opted to lose a forward now, playing with the five in the back, hoping for wingbacks from Elliott. 3 in the midfield with Speckmeyer dropping down and Cox playing as the lone forward.
Milivojevic, she will not stop running. She will not stop creating. Elliott has to scramble to keep up and put it out for a throw. Jackson. Longo with the tackle this time. Another throw to Canberra. Desperate to find a way back in. Speckmeyer's back doing the work of a defensive midfielder. 15 minutes ago, she was trying to find a hat-trick. Here's Ruby Nathan, the young Kiwi, into the action for Canberra. Football Ferns debut off the bench against Columbia last month. A standout for Auckland United in 2022. And a player who's added impact, mainly from the bench this season for Canberra United. But great to see Ruby Nathan getting some minutes in her home country as well.
It is great, and it looks like Canberra putting some more attacking players on, not necessarily a like-for-like change. Ruby Nathan, obviously a bit more of an attacking midfielder, playing against some of her under-20 teammates, but she'll be looking to spoil the party against them today.
Yeah, well, they've got Rojas, Heyman, Milivojevic, now Nathan. Jackson's pretty much an attacking player as well. Christopherson. So it's really a front six for Canberra in many ways, isn't it?
Yeah, they'll look to load that front line as much as they can against the back five. They're going to need to find some magic from somewhere.
Can Christopherson provide it? Not this time. Just two back for Canberra now, which they can afford to do with only Cox forward for Wellington. Stanich Floody, all the time in the world to think about her next option. Christopherson, good tackle by McMeekin. Gets it up to Cox, who probably just wants to hold this one up, although she does bring Taylor in. Just a chance for Wellington to catch their breath. Now Manoa Elliott's off on a run, ignored by her teammates. It was the attacker in Manoa Elliott coming out, I think.
Yeah, it was a great forward run. Found herself a little bit too wide to be found by Cox, so made her run inside, but Phoenix haven't been able to find those through balls, and it's probably not a priority for them at this point in time either.
Here's Ruby Nathan with her first opportunity. Into the penalty area, Rojas is there. Good first touch, but a very, very good tackle. That's Jaber. Now she's become a centre forward all of a sudden as she breaks forward, having made the tackle initially. Longo motions Manoa Elliott forward. Coming across Grove, and Grove will get front position. But this is where Wellington want the ball to be as we tick towards the 80-minute mark here in Porirua. It is one of the best sights in football if you're a Wellington Phoenix fan. The chance to disrobe on a balmy Sunday afternoon/evening just north of the capital.
And this is where the Phoenix will want the ball the most. They don't want to be defending too much with only 10 players on the park. Earn themselves some set pieces so they can run that clock down, and you've got a young bench that you'd love to get on, but biggest thing is securing these 3 points.
That is exactly it. It's getting the points by hook or by crook now. 2-0 ahead Wellington, so a bit of breathing space, but a goal now for Canberra would really set us up for a grandstand finish. Can Wellington perhaps, though, score a third here? Taylor's taken over right wing corners. Delivery's good towards Lincoln, but she's secure. And so all of a sudden, straight away, Wellington's minds turn to defence rather than attack. Nathan couldn't quite find the ball under her feet. Elliott with the big left boot.
And you do think Canberra's ability to score goals probably plays on both teams' minds. Canberra thinking they've always got a chance, and Phoenix knowing that they should always be a little bit on edge.
Yeah, goal scoring, we've said it so many times, has not been a problem. It's the concession of goals for Canberra. 30 now conceded, and this their 13th game, so it's more than 2 a game, and you're never going to make much progress if you can't keep the ball out. They haven't had a clean sheet this season. Wellington have only had 2. They would be desperate for a third clean sheet of the season. Nathan and Milivojevic. Jackson. Good close control from Devon Jackson. Can she win something? Longo's going to make sure she does it. And that'll be a goal kick. All the experience of Annalie Longo coming to play there.
Yeah, and the Phoenix will need all of that experience to come out of her right now in these moments. Going down to 10's always a difficult situation for anyone, but it's especially difficult when you know that you need this result. Phoenix, of course, struggling the last couple of rounds. They're at home. They want to secure these 3 points today for the crowd.
Wellington back on the road next weekend. They play Newcastle away next Sunday evening. Canberra will host league leaders Melbourne City that same evening.
Move it, move it, move it. There we go.
You can hear Nergosh Popovic urging his side to move the ball, to keep it moving. 11 against 10, that's the best tactic. Rojas, such clever feet. Nathan. Christopherson. Clark has joined the attack. Good from Clark, a good cross too. Heyman's there, but Yaber's in the way. And she gets a nudge to Yaber. She goes down, referee hasn't seen it. She's got to get back on her feet. Tiana Yaber, half away. Nathan, all the way away from Longo. Desperate defending from Wellington. Here come Canberra again. More defending to do for the home side. And they achieve it. It's coming back with interest though, but Kate Taylor has just belted that one all the way down towards the southern end of Porirua Park and said, come on guys, let's get up to halfway.
Yeah, it's a big clearance from Taylor. You can almost call that one a show on target as well. Phoenix just trying to gain as much territory as they can on the regain.
Taylor's gone down this time. No foul given, back to her feet. Rojas, Christopherson. Stanic Floody. Go to Rojas. Trying to keep up Speckmeyer. And Zoe McMeekin just belts it into the shins of Rojas. And again, the Phoenix fans and players can take a breath.
Yeah, and I think what the Phoenix need to be most aware of and continue to do, when you're down to 10 and you're trying to seal a result, you can often keep bringing your block back and back and allowing pressure to be put on you. So they need to keep sending numbers out to the ball, putting pressure on it as much as they can and keep that ball out of their box.
Crowd doing everything they can to help the Phoenix home. 5 minutes plus stoppages, and there will be a few. Hope Breslin was down for a long time receiving treatment, and the red card to Riley Foster also took up a lot of time. I wouldn't be surprised if we're up near 10 minutes added on at the end. Changes of foot down in the Phoenix technical area. We'll get back to that in a moment. Here's Longo. Longo lines up the shot. We know she's got it in her locker. But are we going to see in a pressure cooker situation a couple of debuts here from a couple of your academy players, Katie?
Yeah, it's certainly big trust from Temple to get two of these girls on. They are defensive-minded players, and that might be the inspiration from Temple. It looks like Daisy Brazendale and Ella McMillan both getting ready, but focus is very much on the game right now.
All right, special moments perhaps for these two academy products. Ella McMillan, the 18-year-old, Daisy Brazendale, just 17 years of age. I think her family are here today. What a proud moment this will be if they do make their way onto the grass. Canberra steel themselves for a final assault. Milivojevic, Jackson, tracked all the way by Mania Elliott. Stanic Floody. The defending by Isabel Cox. There's nobody forward for Wellington, so it's like a training game of attack v defence at the moment. Heyman, poked away from her by Taylor.
Use the wide areas!
You can hear again clearly through our effects there, Nergosh Popovic telling his team to use the wide areas to stretch the game, to make 11v10 a real advantage.
Yeah, it's always easy to defend in your box when you're nice and compact, but if you shift the ball around the opposition, they're forced to go into areas they don't want to go into, and that's what Canberra are looking to do now, just draw them out, find the gaps to release your dangerous players.
Milivojevic certainly fits into that category. That one hit her on the back though, and then she gives away a free kick against Mania Elliott, immediately apologises. But what that does do is soak up a few more precious seconds for the home side.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate little deflection off the back and just frustration there, pushing Elliott to the ground and meaning that Wellington get a set piece, which Canberra don't want right now. It's another chance to keep the ball and slow the game down.
Taylor goes long. Speckmeyer is furthest forward. She hasn't spent much of the last 15 to 20 minutes in the centre forward role. Stanic Floody breaking forward for Canberra. Clark. Jackson. Milivojevic, always dangerous, but a toe in from Kate Taylor. So many impressive performances today from Wellington players. They've given everything out there, but there's more needed. Just 2 blocks of defensive players. 1 of 5, 1 of 4. And goalkeeper Brianna Edwards being protected at the moment. Milivojevic gets a lucky bounce. Milivojevic.
And Milivojevic will be ruining that chance as the Phoenix are excited, not getting the ball back in play. It's a little bit of a lucky deflection. Milivojevic in her form recently, you'd like to see her put those ones away.
Into the final minute of regulation, but we're told there'll be a minimum of 8 added minutes at the end of the 90 for the aforementioned reasons. The long stoppage to see Hope Breslin treated for that blow to her head, and then the red card for Riley Foster, which still trying a little bit to decipher. What it did do was lead to one of the moments of the season with Brianna Edwards coming on and saving a penalty. Here's Clough. Wellington have Canberra where they want them at the moment, as far away from goal as possible. Grove flicks off the head of Lake. McMeekin is there, Heyman's there. What can she create? Is that handball or was that a foul? Doesn't matter because Wellington bring it away through Longo. Nobody that keen to keep up with her. Here comes Mania Elliott. Longo keeps going. Pursued by Christopherson into a bit of a cul-de-sac. Mania Elliott is letting her know that she's there, and Annalie Longo, with all the experience in the world, wins a free kick. And again, Wellington's players can take a breath.
And she knows exactly what she's doing there, Annalie Longo. Opts not to go towards goal, attracts attention from Christopherson and wins the free kick, and they won't be rushing this one, that's for sure.
I think we are going to see this double change, and a very special moment coming up for these 2 academy players. For you as well, Katie, you've overseen their development. Brazendale and McMillan about to make their entrance. In the meantime, free kick taken for Wellington. Chloe Lincoln drops it at the first time of asking as Cox arrived, but gathered safely enough. Canberra just desperate now to get it forward. Chance now for that change, or those changes, plural, to be made. Liberty A-League debuts, any debut, always special. 2 special moments here. Ella McMillan into the action in place of Hayley Davidson, and Daisy Brazendale, a Liberty A-League debut for her as well, replacing Isabel Cox.
Yeah, incredibly proud of both of these 2 players. You see the work that goes behind the scenes, and they and their family should be very proud of these opportunities they've earned. Ella McMillan moving to the academy, training with the boys before many girls ever came to the academy in the first place. Daisy Brazendale entering the under-16 girls from Golden Bay and FC Nelson. Obviously, Ella McMillan from Melville, same as Mania Elliott, and the future is bright for football in New Zealand, Piney.
What courage as well from Paul Temple. He could easily say, you know what, I'll leave my experienced players on and let them see this out. But to have faith in a couple of teenagers to make sure the job gets done is a real show of faith from the coach. The crowd aware of how big a moment this is in Wellington's season. 4 straight losses, let's not forget, before this. Slipping from 3rd in the table to 10th. Victory here would take them back into the top 6 for the meantime anyway. Jaber is there and puts it behind. Edwards was behind her, but she perhaps wasn't able to hear her over the noise. Corner quickly taken. It's there for Clough. It's there for Milivojevic. What a block by Elliott. And scrambled away by Taylor. Pretty sure that was Mania Elliott putting her body on the line.
Yeah, it was either Elliott or Macmillan and Elliott, the Melville products, the Academy products, putting their body on the line to secure these results.
They'll love to see it. Approaching the halfway mark of the added 8 minutes, and frustratingly for Devon Jackson, she can't keep that one in. Crowd really finding their voice here late on at Bodydoa Park. Players now with exhaustion setting in. Now Devon Jackson's got a bit of a whack on the head here, so Molly Godsall's just going to make sure that she's okay. Chance for Phoenix players to come together to steel themselves for one final piece of defensive duty. Annalie Longo checking with the referee how long there is to go. This will only elongate the added time. Devon Jackson is okay. Game underway again. Annalie Longo in the 96th minute is still running deep into enemy territory. Can't find Speckmeyer. Nathan loses her footing. Longo is still running. What a shift from Wellington's captain. Taylor, another who's put in everything this afternoon and still getting up and chasing the ball like a junkyard dog. Heyman. Tired pass from Michelle Heyman, picked up by McMeekin. Longo almost inevitably is there to tidy up. McMeekin. She drives deep. Ball stays in, and Zoe McMeekin, I think, was actually hoping that would go out so she could stop running. She takes it deep into the Canberra half. We've had 6 of the extra 8 minutes. Longo appeals for handball. Canberra just need to get it forward. Time is very much the enemy now of Canberra United. Jackson. Taylor is there. And Paul Temple appeals for a throw, which I think he knew wasn't his, but you don't mind the intent. Squirts over the sideline again. Wellington have played since the 67th minute with only 10 players. That is half an hour with a numerical disadvantage. Clough plants it in. Lake wins another header. It's there for Heyman. Heyman looking for room for the shot. Longo. Well, if there's a part of Porirua Park that she hasn't covered this afternoon, I'd like to see it. Last opportunity perhaps for Wellington. Brianna Edwards falls gratefully upon the cross. Long from Edwards. Nobody's got the energy to chase it for Wellington. We're approaching the 8 minutes. There may be more to come because of Devon Jackson's injury. Indeed, Molly Godsell says there is still time to play. Wellington are very nearly there. Good robust defending from Mania Elliott. And Tokes behind for a corner. There will be time for it. Taken quickly. Clough towards the far post. Another header away by Rebecca Lake. Shot from a long way out. Brie Edwards isn't going to be troubled by that. Wellington Phoenix are back in the winner's circle. Adversity over the past month has steeled the resolve in this side, and there is delight among their players. A brace for Mariana Speckmeier, a penalty save from Brianna Edwards. Embraces everywhere here in Porirua, and delight at the scoreline. Wellington Phoenix 2, Canberra United 0. Well, Katie, I'm not quite sure where to start, but the end product is probably a good place. 3 points for Wellington, and they snap a 4-game losing streak. It must feel so good out there for those players.
Yeah, they look absolutely wrapped, and I think the really impressive thing was seeing individuals step up that typically haven't had a lot asked for from them. So it's been really great to see Brianna Edwards, Rebecca Lake, Kate Taylor be absolute champions in this fixture for the Phoenix.
Impossible to find a player who hasn't absolutely run their heart out there for Wellington this afternoon. So many players to pick out. So many players who gave everything, not least of which their captain, Annalie Longo, joins us. Annalie, I'm surprised you've got any energy left to chat to us, so we won't keep you for long. How does that feel to get back on home soil and back in the winner's circle?
Yeah, it was incredible. I think, it was a team performance today, 2 classy goals by Mariana, but yeah, in saying that, we had to dig deep, and that last 20 minutes was an absolute grind. We probably should have tried to keep the ball a little bit more, but the defensive effort from everybody out there was outstanding. Tell us about the heart in this side and the, I guess, bouncing back from the adversity of the last month. You never dropped your heads during that time, and certainly this is the kind of bounce back performance I'm sure you're extremely proud of. Exactly, we've spoken about it lots, but I think, the thing that separates this group is the unity in the group. The connection is there. We're working hard, we're doing all the things off field to make sure we're ready for game day, and yeah, today it was hard, but it was a battle, and it was an important 3 points for us. Quick word on Brianna Edwards, comes off the bench, saves a penalty. It's a bit of a fairy tale for her, day after her 21st birthday. Exactly, celebrate in style, I say. Yeah, she was class, she came on, did the job for us, and yeah, important kind of step to those 3 points. So fantastic for her, and nice to have her have her moment, and a big happy birthday to her. Thanks for joining us, Annalie. Go and join your team. Congratulations on a terrific performance. I appreciate it. Thanks, Piney. Thanks. Annalie Longo there, just leading from the front. Brianna Edwards will probably get the headlines. Mariana Speckmeier will share in them as well with her brace. But what an important performance from Wellington. Hope Breslin there holding the towel to her face. She has been in the wars, but she as well left everything out there. Katie, let's look at the stats for what they're worth.
Yeah, obviously a little bit of an even game, cagey affair at times, but it's the shots on target for me that really made the difference. The Phoenix just looking a little bit more dangerous and in control in both boxes, and they're able to get the result at the end of the day, but more importantly, their third clean sheet and under pretty trying circumstances as well.
Yeah, when you've lost 4 in a row, a clean sheet is like gold dust, isn't it? It ensures you a result to start with, but if you can get goals at the other end, it gives you the 3 points, and every win is precious. Every performance is just so precious at this time of the season. Next up for the Wellington Phoenix women, a trip to Newcastle a week tonight. We'll have it for you here on Sky as they take on the Newcastle Jets, and they will head off full of confidence after a performance that perhaps might be a defining moment in the season of this side. It is a roller coaster following the Wellington Phoenix women, but nobody here wants to get off. Full time in Porirua, the Wellington Phoenix 2-0 winners over Canberra United.